I'm Angie Avestris, and welcome to the Minnesota Football Honors presented by the Minnesota Vikings. It was another incredible season of football on all levels. There's exciting changes happening with the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Gophers are coming back after a solid year, and Minnesota high schools continue to produce top collegiate athletes. We've got a fabulous show lined up for you today, and joining me now is the president of the Minnesota chapter of the National Football Foundation, Todd Fultz. Todd, fabulous show. Wouldn't be possible, though, without all the great support we get.
That's correct. We're very lucky. We've got a great group of sponsors, including our presenting sponsor, the Minnesota Vikings, Polaris, the Minnesota Football Coaches Association, and the NFL Alumni Minnesota chapter.
Now, you do a lot to make this show happen, but it's not just you. You've got a great team behind you. Do you want to talk about them?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a great board of directors that do wonderful work in spreading Minnesota football across the state, and also our great staff. We've had a great staff with us since the inception, and very grateful for that opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for all you do to support football in Minnesota. Now, should we get right to the show?
Let's do it.
At the National Football Foundation, we build leaders through football.
Where you truly understand how to become a member of a team.
You get knocked down, you get back up, and you continue to strive and reach for the goals that which you set for yourself.
We recognize the scholar athlete.
Playing well on the field, but at the same time understanding that the true game of life is all about excellence off the field.
It's just gratifying to be part of something that does something good for young people.
On behalf of the National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors, we are pleased to welcome to the 2022 class of the Scholar Athletes from Maple River, Colton Berkner.
Colton Berkner, an all-district offensive lineman, was a 3-year starter and team captain during his junior and senior seasons. The young offensive lineman's leadership, work ethic, and determination were foundational aspects of Maple River's recent success. Colton finished his academic career with a 3.987 GPA and was one of 15 players in Class AA to be awarded academic all-state honors from the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. Off the field, Berkner invested more than 200 hours into youth football camps, church events, and National Honor Society.
Colton Berkner, Maple River High School, Amboy, Minnesota, offensive lineman. It's a team sport. There's not a lot of sports like it. You know, you got 11 guys out there, all with different jobs, but, you know, they're all interlinked. You know, if one guy messes up, some other guy's got to pick up the slack, and it's just great to see how 11 people can work together to achieve a common goal. Well, I got the phone call. I was in the kitchen. My mom and dad were sitting there, and I just kind of did a little fist pump. You know, it was just kind of great to be recognized, and it's an honor, honestly. I'm going to be attending the University of Wisconsin Stout. I'm going to plan on electrical engineering, but it'll probably change. We'll see how that goes. And I plan to play football there.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is pleased to welcome the 2022 class of Scholar Athletes. Please welcome, from Sartell High School, Steven Brinkerhoff.
Steven Brinkerhoff's accomplishments on the field earned him all-district and section honors, along with the team's MVP award. Brinkerhoff posted a 4.31 weighted GPA while taking difficult advanced placement courses. He also earned AP Scholar of Distinction and Honors Scholar awards for achieving academic success at the highest level. Additionally, in the community, Brinkerhoff made a difference by volunteering at church, participating in the Youth Mentor Program, and assisting with youth sports.
My name is Steven Brinkerhoff. I am from Sartell, Minnesota, and I attended Sartell High School, and I played linebacker and running back. The person who has impacted me the most throughout my high school football journey is my coach, Coach Henches. He showed us how to work hard and was an incredibly intelligent person. For me, being a leader is setting a good example. This includes working hard, doing the right thing even when it's difficult. I've enjoyed working camps with the younger kids. This has been a super fun experience for me. I plan to attend BYU in Utah, where I'll study chemistry with hopes of attending med school after that.
On behalf of the Minnesota Football Honors and the National Football Foundation, we are pleased to welcome to the 2022 Scholar Athlete class, Clay Nielsen, Randolph High School.
Clay Nielsen was a star offensive and defensive lineman for the Randolph Rockets. He made an impact on both sides of the ball and earned 3-time All-District honors. In 2021, Nielsen played in the Minnesota Football Showcase and was named District Lineman of the Year. In the classroom, Nielsen posted a 4.0 GPA and was named a 3-time Academic All-District selection.
My name is Clay Nielsen. I played offensive and defensive line. I go to Randolph High School, and I'm from Randolph. When I found out I won this award, I was sitting downstairs on my couch, just scrolling on my phone, and my mom sent me a text and sent me the article about this award, and I was very shocked that I won it, to be honest. The people that really helped me get to this point are my two head football coaches, Mike Schmidt and Barrett Freeland. They've been a huge influence on my life, pushing me to get into the weight room every single morning, to be the best leader I can be, the best teammate I can be. Next year, I will be going to Wartburg College, and I will be playing basketball, and I am going to be studying biology and math, and hopefully to become a doctor one day.
On behalf of the National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors, we are proud to welcome from Rushford-Peterson High School, Carson Thompson, 2022 Scholar Athlete.
Carson Thompson, a 2-time Mid-Southeast Blue All-District selection, made an impact in the trenches for Rushford-Peterson's program. As a junior and senior, Carson's excellent football accomplishments earned him first-team All-Area honors by the Winona Daily News. In the classroom, Thompson accumulated a 4.0 GPA and was recognized as a 4-time Academic All-Conference selection. He invested more than 230 community service hours into youth sports programs, flag football, and the Meals on Wheels program.
My name is Carson Thompson from Rushford-Peterson High School. I'm a defensive lineman from Rushford, Minnesota. The biggest person that helped me get here is my dad. Everything that I know as a man, as a football player, has come from him, and he's really been a huge role model in my life. I think the biggest highlight for me is going to state with my senior year with all my friends. Just growing up in a small town, playing together with a group of 11 guys that I've seen since we were about 4 years old. In the community, I'm really big with youth athletics, so whether that's football, basketball, baseball, I always try to really get involved with the younger kids. Next fall, I will be attending Winona State University to study mathematics, education, and coaching while still playing football.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to recognize 2022 Stacy Robinson Leadership Award winner from Cretin-Derham Hall, Remy Pye.
Remy Pye was a linebacker and defensive lineman for Cretin-Derham Hall, but his leadership extended far beyond the playing field. Pye was on the Student Council's executive board and shaped how the school addresses and balances the expectations of their school uniform policy within a diverse student body. Remy is also the organizer of an annual supply drive. This year, Remy expanded the drive by reaching out and involving 6 other schools. In total, this year's efforts raised more than $4,000, which was used to put together essential goods care packages that were distributed to homeless shelters. Remy has taken a leadership role with AFAM, an African American student affinity group, and the founder and president of a separate student coalition.
My name is Remy Pye. I go to Cretin-Derham Hall. I was born in St. Paul, and I play linebacker. I think to be a leader, it's really learning how to bring people together and work as a team. Communication, again, is everything. I think it's really important to not only to be a leader, but to learn how to kind of follow sometimes too. It's important to me to give back to my community because I feel really connected to my community. I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't have my community, and service and volunteering is so important and it's part of my values. It was pretty cool, especially since he was from St. Paul, from a St. Paul school. I thought it was really special that, I got a St. Paul school award. I'm going to Creighton University in Nebraska, Omaha. I'm planning to major in bio and kind of follow the pre-med track.
And now, our honorable mention award winners. The presenting sponsor of the 2022 Minnesota Football Honors Award Show is the Minnesota Vikings. The 2022 Minnesota Football Honors Award Show is sponsored by the NFL Alumni Minnesota Chapter. Over the past 15 years, Minnesota Football Honors has presented scholarships to 127 high school seniors, representing 84 schools across Minnesota.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome Logan King from Litchfield, 2022 Scholar Athlete.
Logan King was a star quarterback, wide receiver, and safety for the Litchfield Dragons. He earned two-time All-District honors and led his team to a section championship in 2020. King's strong leadership skills helped him achieve tremendous success in the classroom, where he accumulated a 4.0 GPA. He finished his high school career with more than 300 community service hours. King also made a difference by serving as a Lutheran Social Services volunteer, Sunday school teacher, blood drive volunteer, and youth coach.
I'm Logan King. I play at Litchfield High School, and I'm from Litchfield, and I'm a quarterback and safety. I grew up around football. My dad was a coach, and my brother played. My mom tried to know her positions the best she could, but she learned, I think. And I was just raised in a football family, and that kind of molded me to be a football guy, I guess. My favorite football moment is we were in the section semifinals facing the number 1 seed at the time, Providence Academy. I think they overlooked us a little bit, and we started out kind of behind the whole game, and in the end we ended up winning, and I had a game-winning touchdown run to win it for us. So it was really the highlight of my career, I'd say. I'm going to the University of Arizona. I want to be a sports psychologist, so I'm going to major in psychology.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome to the 2022 Scholar Athlete class from Redwood Valley, Drew Lundeen.
Drew Lundeen was District Wide Receiver of the Year, creating matchup challenges for defenses and set the school record for touchdowns in a game and a half. Drew was also a disruptive linebacker, finishing his Redwood Valley career 5th all-time in defensive points scored. Lundeen finished his academic career with a 4.0 GPA, which earned him academic All-State honors. Off the field, Lundeen was a Fellowship of Christian Athletes huddle leader and volunteered at Ruby's Pantry, the Bloodmobile, and youth sports camps.
My name is Drew Lundeen, and I am from Redwood Falls, Minnesota. I go to Redwood Valley High School, also in Redwood Falls, and I play slot receiver and safety. To be named the District Wide Receiver of the Year, it meant a lot. People were able to recognize me for my success on the field, and I was very appreciative and grateful for the honor. The person who has impacted me the most throughout my football career has been my dad. He's been my coach for a long time. We would go out and we'd play catch when I was very young, coached me in 5th and 6th grade, and then was obviously my high school football coach. He's had a major impact on my career and on my success. My plans for next year are attending Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, to study Christian leadership and church ministries.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors are proud to recognize 2022 Scholar Athlete from Lanesboro High School, Seth Semin.
Seth Semin, an all-district selection, led Lanesboro to a combined 17-2 record during his junior and senior seasons. Semin played quarterback and was also named to the 9-man All-State football team as a safety. Although he battled through several knee injuries that put his career into jeopardy, he battled back and realized his goal of playing football again. Academically, Semin accumulated a 3.982 GPA and became a Knowledge Bowl and Math Wizard champion. In the community, he volunteered at the blood drive and assisted with flood cleanup and the multiple sclerosis tram team.
I'm Seth Semin from Lanesboro High School in Lanesboro, Minnesota, and I play safety. The person that impacted me the most is my dad. I'd just like to thank him for all the years. He was my head football coach, and I've seen him work so hard in his own job and his coaching positions, and I just like to thank him. The biggest lesson the sport of football has taught me is perseverance. I've battled through a couple of injuries, and I've also seen other people battle through injuries. And I think working through hardships is one of the most important things you can learn. One of the favorite things I do in our community every year is a week-long football camp for our elementary kids. It's fun to teach the game of football to them and to watch them learn the game of football. I think it's important to give back because I've had so many gifts given to me. I mean, I was in that football camp when I was young. To be one of the older kids that is now teaching them, it's cool to see. In the fall, I'm going to Grinnell College, and I'm playing football there and playing safety again. And I hope to study economics with possibly a minor in mathematics or statistics.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome to the 2022 class scholar athlete Seaver Klefsis, Staples Motley High School.
Seaver Klefsis, a two-time All-District and All-Area selection, quickly became one of the best offensive players in the region. Klefsis finished his career with 2,240 career yards and 29 touchdowns. He also contributed on defense, accumulating 86 tackles, 8 forced fumbles, and 4 fumble recoveries. Academically, Seaver posted a 3.895 GPA, which placed him at the top of his class. He accumulated more than 200 community service hours by working with Special Olympics, Feed My Starving Children, and Camp Chaminade.
My name's Seaver Klefsis. I play running back at Staples Motley High School, and I live in Motley, Minnesota. I got a call from an unknown number, so I didn't pick it up. But then he left me a voicemail, and I found out that I won the award. And to be honest, I forgot that my coach had even signed me up. And so then he explained the award to me again, and I was extremely honored. It's crazy. He just explained the depth and just kind of the prestige of it, and I was just extremely humbled and honored. In my high school, we have a bunch of different people, and we've done a bunch of different personalities. Football ends up being like a unifier, so guys that wouldn't be friends, they end up coming together for a common goal. Football to me is just this space away from the rest of the world where nothing else matters except scoring and stopping. I'm going to the University of Northwestern St. Paul to study business marketing.
On behalf of the National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors, we are proud to welcome Mason Wilson from Stillwater, recipient of the Stacy Robinson Leadership Award.
Mason Wilson, a starting defensive end and tight end for Stillwater's program, earned All-District and District Defensive Lineman of the Year honors in 2021. He frequently led classroom discussions, asked insightful questions, and encouraged active participation from his classmates while positively contributing to the school's culture. Wilson's leadership also extended into the Stillwater community. He made a difference by volunteering at youth sporting events, assisting with tackle cancer fundraisers, and playing bingo at the local nursing home.
Mason Wilson, Stillwater Area High School, Oakdale, Minnesota. I play D-line. I think being a leader means bringing the best out of people. In whatever way that is, I think it's setting the bar so high for yourself that people have no choice but to come along with you. Our head football coach, Bo DeBoer, he does a great job getting our whole team involved in the community. Like you said, bingo at the nursing home. We do food shells through Valley Outreach. It's great to not only be able to give back to the community, but to be able to do it with your friends and your best friends who you grew up with. It was a shock. My head coach shot me a text, said that he needed to see me, and then he told me that I had been put up for this award and that I actually won it. It's almost June now, so football season's well over. So just to know that, that what I did this year goes on beyond just the 3 months I have the pads on. It was nice to know. It was good to see that I guess I made that big of an impact, because I really didn't even know that I did. I will be going to play football at the University of Minnesota Duluth. I'll be majoring in civil engineering, probably working in infrastructure.
Congratulations to the 2022 Minnesota Football Honors Super 6 team. The 2022 Minnesota Football Honors Award Show is sponsored by Polaris. If your foundation or business would like to sponsor a scholar athlete, email Minnesota Football Honors President Todd Fultz for more details. And now, our Bobby Bell Award winners.
In 2021, Mafe led the team with 7 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, and 41 total pressures. The Hopkins High School alum's outstanding play earned him all Big Ten second-team honors. Additionally, in the classroom, Boye was named a 2-time academic All-Big Ten selection. Mafe entered the NFL draft following the 2021 season and made a strong impression at the Reese's Senior Bowl. The Gophers pass rusher was named National Team Player of the Game after accumulating a pair of sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. Mafe shot up draft boards and was selected by the Seattle Seahawks in the second round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Brandon Alt passed for 4,245 yards and 46 touchdowns, becoming just the 20th player in NCAA Division II history to throw for at least 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns in a single season. The Beavers team captain also broke the NSIC single-season passing touchdown record and set the Bemidji State single-season records for passing yards and completions. Alt also earned D2 CCA All-Super Region 4 Second Team, NSIC North Division All-Conference Second Team Offense, and two-team NSIC Offensive Player of the Week honors. It did not take long for Nate Farm to make an impression within Bethel's football program. The freshman defensive back finished the season with a team-high 81 tackles. The young defensive back led the entire MIAC with 6 total interceptions. The former Mounds View grad's outstanding play earned him recognition as first-team All-American selection by the American Football Coaches Association. Farm was one of just 2 freshmen named to a 2021 All-American team. Additionally, Nate became the 10th AFCA All-American selection in Bethel football history.
Blaze Andrews' outstanding play earned him 2021 All-Big Ten First Team Media and Associated Press All-Big Ten Second Team honors. Following the 2021 season, Blaze entered the NFL Draft and was signed by the Miami Dolphins as an undrafted free agent. Off the field, Andrews excelled in the classroom and community. Blaze graduated with a degree in mathematics actuarial science and is pursuing a master's degree in applied business analytics from the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management. Andrews, a 4-time academic All-Big Ten selection, was also named a 3-time academic All-American by the College Sports Information Directors Association of America, COSIDA. More specifically, Blaze earned COSIDA Academic All-America First Team honors in 2020 and 2021, becoming the first Gopher to receive that honor twice.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome to the 2022 class Fred Zamberletti Award winner Scott Bierscheid, St. John's University.
Scott Bierscheid serves as the head athletic trainer at St. John's. In addition to his athletic training duties, he serves as the advisor for the SJU Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Bierscheid is also an instructor with the CSB SJU Sports Medicine minor. Scott received his bachelor's degree in athletic training from Mankato State University in 1992 and master's degree in athletic administration from St. Cloud State University in 1996. Prior to his position at SJU, Bierscheid was an athletic trainer with the football and wrestling teams at Oklahoma State University from 1992 to 1993 and with the men's ice hockey team at St. Cloud State University from 1994 to 1995. Additionally, Bierscheid completed an athletic training internship with the New England Patriots in 1991.
I feel extremely honored to be awarded this named after Fred Zamberletti. When I got my start in athletic training, one of the first things I did was attend the Vikings football refresher, and Fred was there, and he pulled me up as a student model and checked out my knee, and I think he told me that I had torn cartilage. But ever since then, I kind of followed Fred. I always thought that it was an honor to work in the state with him. And the unique thing about St. John's University, I had the privilege of working with the longtime football coach, John Gallardi. And John, the winningest coach in all time of college football, established a program really based on no's, but for me, the one that really benefited me was no tackling at practice. So when you would go out to St. John's, they would just have on helmets and shoulder pads and then their practice shorts and their practice jerseys. And they would practice hard, they'd go full speed, but when they got to the part of where it would come to have direct contact, they would just kind of stop, wrap up, and go on to the next play. And for me as the athletic trainer, I knew how much healthier the guys were week to week during practice. We weren't getting, some of those significant injuries. So then when it came time to play on Saturday and they were allowed to tackle and allowed to hit, they really came after it. And it's probably a lot of schools now or a lot of programs are modeling of what John implemented way back in the day.
And now, the 2022 Sid Hartman Media Award winner, Larry Knutson.
Growing up in West Central Minnesota meant high school football on Friday nights and college football on Saturday afternoons. Local radio stations had coverage of these games, but alongside these reports was a man who devoted his life to provide opinions, comments, and editorials of all sporting events in Minnesota. The source was the Minneapolis Star and Tribune, and the man was Sid Hartman. The honor received today is a testament to the passion and commitment to his life's calling. My own life's journey began in Ashby, where we played 8-man football. As time moved on, I met Bud Nornis and Jack Brush at radio station KBRF in Fergus Falls, and they allowed me to tag along and learn the ropes of sportscasting. My very first play-by-play came when Mr. Brush handed me the microphone to start the second quarter of the Ashby-Underwood game in the fall of 1975 and said, "Here, it's all yours." 47 years later, we're closing in on game number 4,000. We have been to all parts of Minnesota, from Thief River Falls to Rochester, from Duluth to Moorhead. Facilities have changed along the way for broadcasters, from storage sheds to press boxes made for local coverage to venues that are made for state championships. Thanks to this group that came along for the ride, they have made my life what it is today. And thank you to the National Football Foundation Minnesota chapter for remembering Mr. Hartman and the legacy he left us.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome to the 2022 class the John Gallardi Legacy Award winner from St. Thomas Academy, 1975 state champion, Jerry Brown.
Jerry Brown became one of Minnesota's most successful high school football coaches. During his 21-year career as St. Thomas Academy's head coach, Brown posted a record of 173, 34, and 1. He also led St. Thomas Academy to 9 state playoff appearances, 13 conference championships, 3 interconference championships, 3 section championships, 1 state playoff championship, and 2 final number 1 rankings. Brown retired as head coach following the 1989 season, but continued serving St. Thomas Academy in other roles. Brown was inducted into the Minnesota Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame and earned the Miser Prize for Teaching Excellence. Additionally, St. Thomas Academy's on-campus football stadium was named Jerry Brown Stadium in 1994.
My name's Jerry Brown, and I was the head football coach at St. Thomas Academy in Mendota Heights for 21 years. Well, I volunteered. To begin with, I used to stand outside the fence and watch practice, and the coach, Skip McMahon, invited me in. He said, as long as you're going to come to practice every day, why don't you come in and help us? And so for 6 years, I was a volunteer assistant coach. And then when they changed head coaches and Bill Ridley came on the job, he hired me as his line coach. So that's where that was my first official salaried coaching position, is after 6 years as a volunteer. Most coaches will tell you that you have to be lucky. And they say, I'd rather be lucky than good, and that's true. And I was extremely lucky. I ascended to the job at a terrific school where discipline and character are important. I went there to that school, and it's the only job I ever wanted. And I thought I was lucky to get that. And then I was lucky to have great players come through year after year after year, very highly motivated kids who worked hard and didn't really cause trouble or ask questions. They just did what I asked them to do, and I was lucky for that. And I also had terrific assistant coaches. I always could turn over big portions of our game to my coaches and not worry, because they were terrific. Many of them have gone on to become head coaches in high school and college, which makes me proud. That's something that is one of those things that an old coach like me draws a lot of satisfaction from, is that your players follow in your footsteps and they become coaches. Many of my other players also have done quite well in life. They've been physicians and attorneys and judges. There's even one who's a famous legislator, a member of Congress from Minnesota, Tom Emmer. And I take a lot of satisfaction watching them do well. I know that I knocked them around a little bit and had a little influence on them, so that makes me feel good.
The 2022 Minnesota Football Honors Award Show is sponsored by the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. A Minnesota Football Honors Flashback. Casey O'Brien, Cretin-Durham Hall. 2016 Minnesota Football Honors Courage Award winner.
The National Football Foundation and the Minnesota Football Honors is proud to welcome and honor our 2022 Courage Award winner, coaching in Minnewaska, Trevor Solom.
Football has always been a major part of Trevor Solom's life. His father, Steve Solom, the 8th winningest coach in Minnesota football history, shaped Trevor's love for the game. Over the years, nothing has kept Trevor away from football, including cancer. In March of 2021, Trevor was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. Solom beat Ewing sarcoma when he was 13 years old and is now tackling urothelial carcinoma at the age of 35. Doctors believe the latest form of cancer is a long-term side effect of his first treatment cycle. However, even while undergoing new treatments, Solom has not stopped coaching. He continues to coach varsity football and boys golf at Minnewaska. While facing his own battle, Solom continues giving back to his community on and off the field. He impacts the lives of countless students by serving as a positive mentor and role model. In 2021, Solom made weekly trips to the Mayo Clinic, but was still there for his players, attending every practice and game he could while undergoing treatment. Each day, Solom's passion, determination, and courage inspired the entire Minnesota football community.
My name is Trevor Solom. I coach football at Minnewaska Area High School. So growing up a coach's kid, I was exposed to football at a very young age. And my mom was also a volleyball coach, so when those two seasons started, it was bouncing back and forth between the gym and the football field. I did spend a lot more time on the football field as I was growing up. I got to ride on all the buses to, coming down to the state tournament or going to any of the conference games or wherever it was. I was at every single game from probably 5 years old until I was 18 years old, tagging along either on the sidelines or in the stands. And learning a lot from my dad in the sense of football and in life along the way. I never actually got to participate in high school football. My high school football playing career was cut short in 7th grade by some cancer treatments and things along those lines that kind of set me back a little bit. I was able to play baseball when I was in high school, and that's the sport that I kind of ran with for a little while. But I was always involved in everything football, between my brother coming up and playing and my dad still coaching, so it's always been a part of my family. Going through a lot of experiences, there was quite a few ups and quite a few downs, and one of the things that my dad was always so good at, and one of the things that he preached to his players was, you can't just dwell on that stuff. You got to be moving forward and looking up to what's going to be happening next so you can handle the next situation. And I've kind of modeled myself after that, I kind of preach that to the players that I'm with right now and the students that I work with too, is that there's nothing really you can do about the past, but there's a lot of things you can change about the future. So I'm currently going through my second bout of battling cancer. When I was 13 years old, or finishing up my 7th grade year, I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, which was a bone cancer. And I went through some pretty rigorous treatment, and it was about 2 years later that I was able to walk away cancer-free from that. And that was one journey. And just a little over a year ago, in March, I was diagnosed with cancer one more time. So now I've got another journey on my hands at this point in time. Being around players and students at school has definitely helped me through the journey that I'm on right now. It allows me to kind of take a step back and put myself into the present and kind of forget about all of the additional health things that I have going on. It does take a little bit away from my family, but my wife and kids kind of understand that that's one of the places that I love to be. One of the things that I love to do is to be around kids and help and coach and things like that. So it definitely is a major factor in how I've conducted things moving forward right now. I'm a fairly humble person when it comes to things like this. Even sharing the story that I won this award was hard for me to even talk about to some of my closest friends. I'm not here to try and promote a big story. I'm just kind of here to lead by example and show people that, whatever the journey is, whatever it is that you're working on, there's always a way to try and handle yourself and go about it, and I just try and model that the best that I can.
The Minnesota Football Honors and the National Football Foundation are proud to recognize the 2022 Bud Grant Distinguished Minnesotan Award to Paul Wiggin.
Paul Wiggin has spent nearly 6 decades around football as a player, coach, and administrator at the college and professional levels. Wiggin, a 2-time first-team All-American and first-team All-Pac-10 defensive tackle, earned his bachelor's and master's degrees while playing at Stanford. He was one of the all-time greats and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Wiggin then went on to play in the NFL, compiling 3 NFL World Championship titles and started 2 Pro Bowls. Paul continued his passion for football as a coach, filling various defensive roles, and was given his first head coaching position for the Kansas City Chiefs in 1975. After his head coaching days, he went back to developing top defensive units for the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Wiggin has served in various roles within the Vikings organization for the past 34-plus years. He and his wife Carolyn have been married for 65 years. They have 3 daughters and 8 grandchildren.
I think for me, it's a great honor. It really is, because of who he is and what he stands for, and I've had the privilege of working for him, which verifies the things I believe in him as a man. He's an unusual guy. You know, he's probably everybody has their own idea why he's so successful, and I think I have my own thoughts, and I think it's because he has such a great understanding of human behavior, and I think that's so important in football. And I think he is certainly worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, and I'm proud to have anything but his name on it and my name on it. So I feel very honored. Well, highlights. I don't know if they were highlights, but they were experiences, and I had some great ones. I was a rookie with arguably the greatest football player that ever played, Jim Brown, and played all of his career. I coached with Bud Grant. That certainly is something that not many people get to do, and every coach in America at that time when I took the job here said, you just got the job that everybody in football wants. And I coached John Elway at Stanford, and that was neat. You know, it was fun. John is to be able to coach a guy that I guess I could say he never lost a football game. He just ran out of time, but he was quite a football player, and so and then I had the benefit of playing with one of the most dramatic coaches that ever coached, in Paul Brown. So I've had, unfortunately, I've coattailed most of it, but I've been able to be part of the lives of some great players, some great coaches, and some great people in sports.
The Minnesota Football Honors is sponsored by the Minnesota Vikings. And now, let's recognize our very own Minnesota Vikings award winners. Rookie of the Year, Christian Darrisaw.
I want to give a huge shout out to all my teammates from the 2021 season, winning this award, Rookie of the Year. It's been an awesome season. Can't wait to see what we do this year. Also, a special shout out to all the high schoolers that are accepting awards as well. Congratulations to y'all. Keep going. Let's go Vikes.
Defensive Player of the Year, Harrison Smith.
Hey everybody, thank you for this award. Thank you to my teammates, my coaches, staff, ownership, everyone that makes the Vikings work. We're looking forward to a great 2022.
Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson.
What's good? Jay Just here. Appreciate the award. Sorry I couldn't be there, but much love. Appreciate it. Skol Vikes.
Special Teams Player of the Year, Kene Wangu.
Really cool to receive this award. So grateful for my teammates and coaches from last year. Excited to build on this year, stack and grow. To all the high schoolers being recognized today starts in high school. So just keep on grinding, keep on stacking. Skol Vikes.
And now, the 2022 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee, Anthony Barr of the Minnesota Vikings.
The work we do is multi-generational. And it really is inspired by our multi-generational, family. That was the starting place, but it really is about shining a light on those who may not otherwise have had an opportunity to finish that degree.
It's as much of a commitment on the part of the child as it is on the parent.
Somebody who knows exactly what you're going through, has lived through it, experienced it.
So to see him interact with kids like this, to see that's where he came from, it's very heartwarming. Congratulations, Anthony.
Thank you.
You are the Vikings 2021 Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Wow.
Love you.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Amazing.
Such a huge motivating factor to have somebody believe in you, especially when you are non-traditional students and you kind of feel like society is always going to doubt you.
Yes, man. Much love, bro.
To be able to see him where he started and to fulfill the dreams that he's accomplished, it's just, it's amazing.
The work that he's done that goes purposely unnoticed is there's just a big sense of pride.
Football is so much more than a sport. It teaches valuable lessons, brings people together, and creates lifelong memories. And as you can tell from the show, it also helps produce contributing members of society. Well, that will do it for us this year. For the National Football Foundation and Todd Foltz, I'm Angie Avestris. We'll see you next time.